Hi everyone, welcome to another one of my LinkedIn live events. I think everything is fine now. Okay, so welcome to another one of my LinkedIn live events today. And today we will be talking about a beginner's guide to monetizing your life coaching business. Now, this is something that I've spoken about in parts in the past also, but today, if you are somebody who is an aspiring life coach or currently a life coach who is under any training, or you are a coach who has already gotten trained but you have found out as a rude shock because a lot of people don't actually tell you that you need to learn how to make money from coaching skills. If you are in that train also, this video is going to be super helpful. We are going to discuss the basics of monetization. We are going to discuss, and it is going to then come to you as a realization how simple it is running a one person coaching business, right? So before I start, I will just quickly see if my audio and video is fine. I think it is fine. Okay, yeah. Let's start. Now, first let's understand what is monetization. Now, a very old story of coaches that unfortunately is still continuing is that a lot of coaches get into this field from a place of passion, from a place that I really want to help people and I really want to create an impact, right? And that passion and that desire is often exploited by training programs that tell you that this particular certification is going to make you qualified, this is going to make you qualified. And often a lot of coaches end up going for certification programs and not really training programs. I'll tell you the difference. Okay, the difference is that when you go into a training program, you come out as a skilled coach and as a coach who has an understanding of how to run a business, right? A certification program is basically aimed at training you into a person who is eligible for a particular certificate, right? And often because of that, a lot of coaches become very rigid and restricted in their practice, as well as they don't really understand that just because they have gotten a certificate, it does not mean that clients are going to fall from the sky in their lap, right? So you have to understand that if you are an aspiring coach or you're an existing coach, whichever program you are in, and at any point of time you should always be in a good program that is offering you help, support and nurturing you, because you can't build a business alone. When you are in a program, it's very important to ask yourself that is it really meeting all the goals that I have for my business. A lot of coaches go into this hope that somehow they will get clients. There is no strategy, there is no planning, there is no goal, but somehow it's going to magically happen. And after that certification program ends, it comes as a rude shock that, oh, that's not happening, right? And you can't blame it on anyone else because you did not ask yourself the question, am I going inside a program that also teaches me how to make money, right? And that is why whenever you go into a coach training program, just be clear with two things. One is, am I expecting that I should also be making money after becoming a life coach? If the answer is no, take any program in the world, it does not matter. Second, if the answer is yes, you need to ask, right, the person who has the program, that will you teach me that, right? Because often you don't, and then it leads to disappointment. I have seen a lot of coaches spend a lot of money on the certification programs and still end up being broke because they simply did not learn how to make money, right? And this is also one of the reason I created LCTM, because I've been on the other end. In the first year of my business, I felt very lost because nobody was really teaching me how to make money from my coaching skills. Like, there were two kinds of programs. One were purely certification programs, and another one were purely business coaches who have never run a life coaching business themselves trying to teach me how to make money. Both of them felt like a big scam to me. So I had to do a lot of DIY, because of which it took me some time to find my ground, it took me some time to find my rhythm. So when I used to get consistent requests from people that they want to learn coaching from me or they want to learn this and that, yada yada, I sat down and I created a program that brought both of these things together. First is, I created a comprehensive coach training program that involves real life case studies where you actually learn how to ask questions without restricting yourself. Second is, I actually included monetization, wherein when people come inside my program LCTM, which stands for Life Coach Training and Monetization Program, they actually learn how to make money from the coaching skills, right? The third problem that I had as a coach was that every program was just a few months long, and I never really had a proper connection with the trainer or the coach, right? Like it felt like everybody was out to just get my money, or everybody was just trying to sell me something, right? To solve this problem, I made LCTM lifetime, because I never wanted other coaches to feel the anxiety that I felt, because I used to feel very anxious. It felt like, I'm starting a program and in a few months it's just ending, and I haven't really covered all the aspects of it, and that's it. Now I'm supposed to invest more money. And all of it just made me, it left a very bitter taste in my mouth. It made me feel like, what is this? Like, it's like there is no groundedness, there is no sense of safety. And that is why when I created LCTM, I intentionally made it lifetime, because I wanted that when any coach enters LCTM, they feel grounded, they don't feel anxious, they don't feel like, oh my god, I have to rush through things. And that is why coaches inside LCTM feel so safe, because not only are they learning how to make money and how to coach, but they also get support, which is another issue that I had, and a lot of coaches I see have, is that nobody is actually teaching them how to embody the identity of a business owner. Most of us, when we start our coaching business, we come from the background of corporate, like we have done a job. And the identity you adopt to do a job is very different from the identity of a business owner. When you are setting up a business, you have to learn to trust yourself, you have to learn to trust your intuition, you have to learn how to trust in the way you market, the way you speak. You have to overcome your limiting beliefs around money, around expansion, and XYZ things. These are things nobody talks about, because, again, nobody is actually teaching you this. So this is another thing that I faced as a coach, and that is why inside LCTM we have lifetime coaching calls every single Friday, wherein my students come and discuss with me about every limiting belief they're experiencing. They discuss their client cases, they discuss their issues that are happening in their personal life, they discuss any identity crisis they're experiencing in their business, and XYZ, like everything, everything under the sky. Purely because we want it to be a space wherein we are actually talking about problems that we are facing. A lot of times coaches struggle with a lot of identity issues, and they keep on thinking that, oh, I'm a good coach, yet I'm not able to grow. Well, because your identity also has to grow, right? Just because you get a coaching certification does not make you a coach. A true coach is somebody who also has clients, and a coach who has clients is somebody who knows how to monetize. When I say clients, I mean paid clients. I don't mean free coaching clients. Okay, that is okay initially, but if you have been doing this for, let's say, 8 months, 10 months, 1 year, 2 year, and you still are doing free coaching, then you really need to look at what are you doing, right? So you have to understand that monetization is your business consistently creating paid clients, right? Not once in a blue moon, not, oh, I had a client 6 months ago. Consistently creating paid clients, right? That is what monetization is. And monetization is something that is intentional and structured. Again, a lot of people think that content creation is monetization. This is another funny thing that I was talking to someone about, that a lot of coaches feel that if I just go online and just start creating content, it will do something. Content creation is a part of marketing, and that to a very small part of marketing, right? So when you just go online and you just create a coaching page or a website and put content, it does not mean that you're actually marketing it also. It also does not mean that you're monetizing it. It just means that you're being a content creator. Please understand that there's a difference. Monetization is structured, right? Monetization is intentional. It is not also guesswork. A lot of coaches also do guesswork. They look at other coaches and they try to copy them. It doesn't work, right? Monetization is structured. It has a certain intention behind it, that what is it that I'm doing with whatever it is that I'm putting out. So it is structured and it is intentional. Now, the next thing is that monetization is goal based and not emotion based. A lot of coaches run their coaching business on emotions. The day they are feeling very good, they will do something. The days they are not, they will not do anything. The phases of life wherein, life is demanding, they abandon their business. The times life is not demanding, they come back to the business. And as a result, most coaches go like this. Now, it doesn't mean that business is always like this. I don't mean that. Business is also like this. But are you doing business just from an emotional space? That today I'm feeling good, so I will work. Tomorrow I'm not feeling good, so I will not work. That also happens when you have no clue what you're doing. Because it is easy to get swayed in emotions when you don't know what you're doing, right? If, let's say, I have decided that I want to lose weight and that is my goal, and I have not actually defined how will I lose that weight. Is there a certain diet I'm following? Is there a certain exercise routine I'm following? If I'm not defined that, every single day I will wake up and one day I will decide, oh, I will do a keto diet. Another day I will decide, oh, I will do a marathon. Another day I will decide, oh, I will do yoga. There is no form, there is no structure, there is no consistency, right? That is not how monetization works. Monetization is built from intention, it has structure, it has consistency, and it is not based on emotions. You don't wake up and make the decisions every single day. You create a strategy and you follow it, right? It's systemized, it's structured. That is what monetization is. So if you lack system, if you lack structure, if you lack strategy, it means that you haven't really monetized your business. You're either just a content creator or just posting online and you think it's doing something. That's not how it works. Okay, sure, you may start off like that, that's really no problem. You may post online to create confidence about content creation or marketing or yada yada, but that is not exactly how a business is run, right? Now, coming to covering the basics of monetization, which is what are few things that we need to understand when we are monetizing our business. We're going to talk about very basic things that you can do right away. Okay. Before we go forward, I'll just check my internet again. I get very paranoid that it's stuck in the middle. Okay, yeah, I think we are fine. There's like really bad construction, not even construction, demolition going on near my place. And I was really like horrified that that noise is going to be there in the live today, but thankfully they have stopped it right now. So probably the coming month we'll be having lives in the evenings only and not in the afternoons. Anyway, now let's understand monetization, right? Now, as I told you, building a one person coaching business is very, very simple. And because it is simple, a lot of people don't like to believe that it is that simple, because it is easy to complicate things, right? When it is complicated, it is easy to run away, it is easy to call it hard. But in reality, it's pretty simple. Running any business is simple. Because the thing with a business is you don't have to hide, right? You don't have to pretend. When you're in a corporate, or you have to pretend about a lot of things, or you have to portray things as a certain way. That's not the case with the one person coaching business. Things are just as is. So let's understand basic things. When you are a life coach, what are you really doing, right? You are selling, or you are solving someone's problem by coaching them. Because what is a career at the end of the day? A career is nothing but you solving a specific problem. So in a life coaching career, what you're doing is that you are life coaching as a service that comes from your brain, right? You are using it to solve someone's problem, right? So that is what you are essentially selling. Now, when you know that life coaching is what I'm selling, we have to answer a few questions. The first thing we need to answer is, what am I selling and who am I selling it to, right? Now, when we say that I am selling life coaching, that's a pretty broad term. It's like saying that, you know, I sell construction materials. That's a very broad term. There's so many construction materials. There is cement, there is steel rods, and there is what do you call it? Brakes and mortar and a lot of things, right? So when you say that I am a life coach and I do coaching, it's a pretty broad term. You are not really telling people how exactly can they buy from you. Like when I say that, you know what, oh, I sell construction things, I'm not exactly telling you what I sell. I'm just being, generic. But let's say I tell you that, you know what, I sell a very specific type of cement, or I sell very specific type of hardware materials that are, um, damage proof, and they're rust free and yada yada whatever, right? When I speak like that, what am I doing? I have a very specific um, product that I'm selling that solves a very specific problem. And as a result, when I say it out loud, you will not only be more interested, you will know exactly what I'm selling. And you will either buy that if you want it, or you will refer it to somebody else who's looking for exactly like that. Versus if I just say, oh, I sell construction materials. Similarly, when you are a life coach, you first have to define what is the problem I'm solving for other people. In other words, it is also called choosing a niche. A niche is nothing but a very specific problem that you're solving, right? It is like being a specialist. And the good thing about life coaches is you get to choose your niche. You get to decide what is the problem I want to solve. Because when you narrow down on what is the problem I'm solving, you can start creating clients, you can start attracting clients who have those problems, versus saying that I am a life coach. It doesn't answer anything. Okay. Because see, people don't think in terms of I need coaching, I need therapy. You know what people think in terms of? People think in terms of their problems. People think in terms of I feel underconfident, I feel anxious, or I don't think I love myself enough, I think I stay in toxic relationships, or I think I'm unable to speak up at work. People think in terms of problems. So as a coach, you also have to talk in terms of what is the exact problem you're solving for other people. So that's a very first step, deciding what is the problem I'm solving for other people. For example, let's say that you help women gain back their confidence post pregnancy. Okay, let's say that's something you want to do. Let's say that's a problem that you want to solve. That's a niche. That's something that you can tell people, or that's something that you can describe when people ask you what do you actually do, right? And that becomes a starting point for how you will decide everything later on, right? So now that you've decided that, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this. I feel very passionate about helping women gain back their confidence post they've had a child. Good niche. The next thing you have to do is, how are you actually going to help them, right? Now, just saying that I help do this. Let's say you say that to somebody, and let's say you say that to a relative, and a relative gets very interested. Oh, how do you help? Like, what does it look like? That is when comes your offer. You have to create an offer. An offer is nothing but the number of sessions, the pricing of it, and basically a coaching container that you're going to sell, so that in that container is where the transformation is going to happen. So when somebody asks you, okay, how does it work, or how do you really do it, that is when you tell about your offer to people, right? For example, you have created a 3 layer offer. Let's say you do 4 sessions, you do 12 sessions, and you do 24 sessions. So you have like a uh, 3 tier offer system, wherein somebody can work with you in three capacity. If somebody, let's say, is only interested in working for, let's say, a couple of months, they can take up 4 sessions with you. If, let's say, somebody wants to work with you midterm, they can work with you for 12 sessions. Or let's say if somebody is looking for long term support, they can work with you for 24 sessions, right? So this is how you create an offer. An offer is what you tell people when they ask you, okay, what do you really sell, or how can I actually work with you, right? You tell them about the offer so that they can buy that. Just the way, let's say, if I say that, you know what, I sell a very specific kind of, let's say, metal equipments that are rust free. I have like, the offer in product is still very clear that, oh, I'm selling this particular thing. But you still have to package it, right? That, let's say, if I'm selling nuts and screws that are rust free, how many nuts and screws do I want to add in a packet? Is it a 50 wala packet, or is it a 100 wala packet? What is it, right? Is it a 50-piece packet? Is it a 100-piece packet? So similarly, as a coach, after deciding your niche, you have to make an offer, right? What exactly do you want to include in an offer? And how do you decide that? You simply decided based on how much help you want to offer to people, right? So for example, some people are only comfortable in working with small containers. Like, some coaches feel that I don't really want to work for a long time with a client. That's fine, you can have small containers. Some coaches, for example, I work in long containers with my clients, because I tend to go through a long journey, so I only take long containers with my clients, which was not the case in the beginning. I used to also take small containers. So, depending on how much help you want to offer to people, you can have multiple offers. You can only have one offer. You can have, layered offers, right? So that's something that you can decide. The third thing, right, after the offer is, and which is the most obvious thing people ask, is how much do you charge? And this is where you have to decide the pricing of the offer, right? And this is where a lot of coaches feel confused, because when you are working a job, people tell you that you are going to earn this amount of money in this number of years of experience, or you get this amount of package at this level. The beautiful thing about a business is nobody gets to decide that for you. Nobody gets to decide how much money you can make and how much you can price your offers, right? So how you price your offer is something that comes from nervous system capacity, right? Now, when I tell you that, what, you can charge anything, you may tell me that, oh, Rianshi, I can charge anything, but will people even buy? The answer to that question is, people buy from you when you have the nervous system capacity to charge for it. See, it is very nice to say that, oh, you know what, I will charge anything. But the truth is that as a coach, you have nervous system capacity, which means how comfortable are you charging a certain amount? Initially, when you are a new coach, you're building a nervous system capacity to charge a certain amount. Let's say in the beginning, you're just comfortable with charging 2,000 rupees for one session. Let's say in the beginning, you are comfortable with just taking 4 sessions. So that's your capacity for now. But that will increase over a period of time as you work on it, not your coaching skills, your nervous system capacity. Because your nervous system capacity around money is going to decide how comfortable you feel charging a certain amount, right? So when your nervous system capacity is, let's say, 1 lakh, you will be able to charge 1 lakh. If your nervous system capacity is only of 50,000, you will be able to charge 50,000 only, right? Because how much you charge depends on how comfortable are you with that number rolling off your tongue, right? A lot of coaches feel that I will charge this, that, but in the front of their clients they get very nervous. It means that their nervous system capacity is not developed enough yet, right? So nervous system capacity is something you develop when you work on your relationship with money, when you discuss your pricing, when you discuss your limiting beliefs around pricing with your mentor, and you, when you basically do more and more of coaching, you do more and more of selling, your nervous system capacity also develops like that. For example, inside LCTM, my students discuss their doubts around pricing, their limiting beliefs around pricing with me, and all the time. So because of it, they consistently are getting coached around it. A lot of coaches don't have that kind of support, right? So they get very stuck. They get stuck in, how should I charge? How much should I charge? The point is, you can charge anything you want. You just have to ask yourself, what is the number I'm comfortable quoting? And the number that you're comfortable quoting could be less right now for you. Maybe you may say that, Priyanshi, if I go with that, I can just ask for, let's say, 2,000 for now. Well, that is your nervous system capacity. So you start with that. And over time, you build your nervous system capacity by inner work, by getting mentored, by selling more and more, which ultimately, makes you more comfortable asking for money. And another caveat is, when you are somebody who also invests in your inner work, it will be easier for you to charge higher. That's also another thing. You will find it hard to charge high when you yourself have not been a person who has paid for coaching, or who has never invested in their own inner work, right? Okay. Uh, Before moving forward, I just want to check again if we are doing fine. Okay, there is some glitch. Let me see. Okay, I think we are fine now. I keep getting weird glitches. All right. So far we have spoken about, first, choosing a niche, which is what problem do you want to solve. Second is creating an offer based on the problem that you want to solve. Third is pricing that offer, and pricing comes from your body. You have to ask yourself at this moment right now, what do I feel comfortable charging? Now, another thing that you have to understand about pricing your coaching services, that you can always change it anytime you want, right? You can increase it, you can decrease it, you can change your offer. That's the beauty of running a one-person business. Nobody gets to decide what you do in your business. Nobody gets to decide the timelines of it. Nobody gets to decide anything. You can decide on your own. And that is why the more you pour into your brain and your body, the faster your business will expand. And that is why, as a coach, your own inner work and you're getting mentorship from the right mentor, right business coach, is very, very important. Because the more you pour into yourself, the more your brain will expand, and the more your business will expand. Because you have to understand that your business is coming from your brain. A life coaching business is something that purely comes from your own skill set and brain. So the more you nurture yourself, the more your business is going to expand, right? Now, let's say you have decided that, what, I'm going to help women gain back their confidence post having a child. And let's say I'm going to have a 4-month container, and let's say I'm going to charge 40,000 for it. Okay, let's say. Now the next question becomes, let's say I've decided that I am sitting at home. Does it mean that clients are going to come to me now? The answer is no. Because how am I actually communicating that this is what I'm doing? How are people going to know that this is how I'm helping them? And this is where the major issue starts, because a lot of coaches believe that if I have done my coaching certification, and let's say if I've posted it online once or twice, or if I've told people on LinkedIn or in my company, somehow something will happen. And that's not how it works. Okay, clients are created, right? Clients are created when they believe that you are somebody who can solve problem for them, right? And that is something they believe when you are consistently communicating with them, which is what we call, in other words, marketing, right? Now, a small thing I want to mention here: marketing is not content creation. Okay, please understand that if you just go on and create content, that does not make you a marketer, that just makes you a content creator. Content creation is just a very small part of marketing. There are coaches who hardly create any content and they're always fully booked out, right? So then you may think, how? It's because content creation is not marketing, right? It's just a part of it. So you have to ask yourself here, how can I create an ecosystem for my clients that they are receiving the communication that I'm giving them. They are understanding how I can help them, because you see, when you say, right, that I help women gain back the confidence, specifically the ones who I help women gain back the confidence after childbirth. When you say that, even though a lot of people may want to do it, they may feel hesitant, they may not actually know how you will help them. They may need more education, they may need more information, they may need multiple things, because you see, not everybody is ready to buy. And that is why you have to create an ecosystem for your clients so that they can come inside and get nurtured at whatever place they are in their life, and they can ultimately buy from you. And this involves creating an ecosystem, right? Not just content creation, but an ecosystem, so that when a client comes into your energy, they are consistently getting value. They're consistently getting value in a way wherein they are becoming sold out on you, right? And for this, a big thing that helps is defining your ideal client profile, which is something that I also teach inside LCTM. And I also teach how to create a marketing strategy and everything. We're not going into that today. But creating an ideal client profile means that you have to define what your ideal client is like. What kind of problems are they going through? What kind of resources that they really need in life, what kind of limiting beliefs they may be struggling with, what kind of emotions they're dealing with, right? And you speak to them. You speak to your ideal clients consistently over a period of time, and that is how they come, recognize you, and eventually buy from you, right? So you have to ask yourself, do I have an ecosystem wherein people can come in, get nurtured, and buy from me anytime they want? For example, so many times people book sessions with me at 3 a.m. in the night, 4 a.m. in the night. I'm not doing anything at that time. It's because I have an ecosystem at place. So an ecosystem is what you need to focus on, right? Not just content creation. Now, the next question that you have to ask yourself regarding the ideal client profile only is that, am I creating content randomly for anyone, or do I have a ideal client in mind to whom I'm speaking? Because when you speak to everyone, you basically speak to no one. You just need to speak to one person, your ideal client. And there are multiples of it in the public. When you speak to one person, you basically become hyper focused, you basically become specific, you become concentrated in how you're communicating. When you speak to everyone, you become diluted, you try to appeal to everyone, you try to please everyone, and that goes nowhere. The more you focus on just your ideal clients, which is one single person, the more you're going to become focused in the way you communicate, and the more focused even your ecosystem is going to be, right? So ask yourself, am I speaking to everyone, or am I speaking to a specific, you know, ideal client? And if you haven't defined your ideal client yet, define it. What is my ideal client like? What are their qualities? What are the problems they're struggling with? How do they like to deal with their problems? And on the basis of that, you create an ecosystem. The next question is there a system at place, either inbound or outbound, through which clients are coming to you? See, as I told you that marketing is also another, like marketing is one part of it, but client creation system is also another part of it. Marketing involves communication, marketing involves content creation, marketing involves creating resources. But client creation systems are different, right? Client creation system is when you have a set system through which clients are getting created for you. Usually there are two ways clients are created, either through an outbound strategy or an inbound strategy. Outbound strategy is when you go and approach clients, when people do cold DMs or when they reach out to people. Inbound strategy is when clients come to you. For me, it has always been inbound. And it is because I have focused on a strong ecosystem where clients come to me. I have never had to text anyone in my life to come and work with me. All of my clients have approached me. They've bought at the price that I have kept, and that is how I found work. Right? Now, that doesn't mean that system is better. It is just a system that I wanted. So you have to ask yourself, is there a system that I have through which clients can come? Or is it just, me hoping and praying or posting once in a blue moon on social media? Because that is just posting content. That is not a client creation system. Right? Now, these are the four basic things that you have to keep in mind, right? Your niche, your offer, your pricing, how are you communicating to your clients, who are you communicating to, which is your ideal client profile, and your content creation, and your client creation system. So basically six things, right? When you can get that right, you will easily be able to make your first six figures. And if you're somebody who wants to learn how to do all of this and don't want to figure it out on their own, you're very welcome to join us inside LCTM, which is my signature course training and monetization program, wherein you learn everything from me from scratch, and you get to discuss how everything is going on in your business every single Friday with me one on one. Right now, there's another part that I really want to talk about today when it comes to understanding monetization, which is three things, right? The very first thing to understand about when you decide to monetize your business is what is your background. See, I'll tell you what, when I started my coaching business, the kind of coaches who were around me had 20 years of experience, corporate experience. So they used to make money through corporate assignments, or they would have some in with an HR or a leader, or you know they would have connections. Basically, a lot of the clients also came from their colleagues and stuff like that, because when you're that old, you have made connections. I was out of college, have been working in corporate for 4 to 6 months now. And I was 22, to be very honest, when I started my life coaching business. So I had none of that. And on top of that, I was an introvert and I hated fake networking events and yada yada. And I also never wanted to work with, corporate. So my background was very different from other people's background. A lot of times, the mistakes I see a lot of new coaches make is that they don't actually look at who are they learning from. If somebody is teaching you how to make money in your life coaching business and they themselves are not a life coach, then my professional recommendation is it's a red flag, because they don't know how to help you, because they themselves have not done it. So it's like taking advice or taking learning strategy from somebody who themselves are not in that field, right? For example, I will not go to a lawyer and ask them that, teach me how to expand my practice as a doctor. I will go to a doctor, right? Second is, you have to be in the background only. You have to make sure and see whoever you are learning from, how similar are your backgrounds, because the kind of people I saw in the beginning, I could not relate to them, because their journey was so different from me. So even if they said something to try to help me, it didn't do anything, right? Because I was a different person. I had to truly create everything from scratch for myself. So if you are also somebody like that who does not want to go to networking events, or if you're somebody who doesn't want to reach out to multiple people, then you need to focus on marketing, and you need to focus on becoming a good seller and good marketer, right? So that you can create clients from everywhere. That is what I did. None of my clients have come through some sort of connections. They've purely come through from my skill set, right? And that is exactly what I teach inside LCTM do. So look at the background, because if somebody comes and tells me, oh, I got a client because this person referred, this old colleague of mine referred them to that. I don't relate with that. I don't have colleagues. So how is it relevant? So you see, how they are making money is not relevant to me. But let's say if somebody tells me that this is what they're doing in their marketing, this is what they're doing in their strategy, that I can learn from. But I can't learn from somebody telling me that my colleague referred to them. They come from a different background, I come from a different background, right? So understand that. Second is, understand your leverage. Now, you may very well come from a corporate background, so your leverage in life could be learning how to monetize, or learning how to communicate with the existing people you have in life. My leverage was that I was somebody who was you know single, somebody who had no responsibilities on me, and somebody who had a lot of enthusiasm to build something. So I use that to my advantage, right? Maybe your advantage could be something else. So recognize your leverage wherever you are in life, right? And use that in your monetization also. The third thing is, and this is something that a lot of people don't pay attention to, your business blocks as a coach. See, let's say that you come to me and I tell you, oh, you know what, you can charge whatever you want. This sounds great. But do you have a great relationship with money to charge whatever you want? Do you feel confident in selling? Do you feel comfortable talking about your business? If that is not the case, my advice is useless, right? So you have to recognize what are your business blocks, and that is why it's so important to be inside a program where you are getting coached. A lot of times coaches have a lot of internal business blocks. They have issues around money. They feel either desperate for it, or they run away from it, or they have issues around success, or there's fear of failure, or there is personal issues, and yada yada. And these things often, create roadblocks in your business. So recognize your business blocks. Is there a consistent pattern that you see? Are there certain fears? Are there certain limiting beliefs that often show up for you? Right? For example, one of the coaches that I knew that I worked with had an issue with balancing their work life and their coaching business. They had a habit of people pleasing, and they always used to let their personal life take over their business, and because of which they couldn't build a business for a while, even though they did an ICF certification program a while back, right? And they always thought that, I've spent so much time, why is my business not being built? But their problem was the fact that they could not prioritize themselves, and that is a completely different issue. So be aware of your blocks, and this becomes, easier when you're inside a program that wherein you are discussing your mental and emotional blocks, right? That is exactly what we do inside our Friday LCTM calls too. So no matter whether you're inside a program like that or not, or even if you want to work one on one with a coach, that's fine. But the point is that make sure that you are working on your blocks, because they will affect you more than anything else, right? Now that is it for today. We discussed very, very simple things. We discussed things that are very easily implementable for you. However, it is very important to understand that when you are building your business, you have two options. You can either take the hard path of guessing, do it yourself, going here and there, and ultimately quit, which is what 99% of the people do. Or you can actually learn, right? You can learn in a structured manner. And if you are in the latter part, you want to make your business in a sustainable way and you want it to be easy, then you're very welcome to join us inside LCTM. And if you are somebody who would like to work with me one on one on expanding their business or working on their business blocks, you can also book a one on one coaching session with me. And that is it for today. We'll be talking more on monetization, and we'll take a closer look at each of the topics we discussed today, which is niche, marketing, pricing, offer. And you can keep a lookout for future live events on my LinkedIn page. And if you're watching this as a recording, feel free to share whatever questions you may have in my DMs. And I also run a free coaching community called The Empowered Coach, wherein there are existing and aspiring new coaches. And I often share how to build a one-person coaching business there. So you can also join us there. Thank you so much for showing up. Bye bye.